Slide maybe to the back door, Ava, so that maybe all the way to the back, so you can see. And then I think we want. Is it okay like that? Sure. Welcome to another segment of the Valley New School Senior Presentations. As you enter the Ludke Advisories weeks upcoming, you'll see three seniors, and they have something in common, which I think is really interesting. All of them, Nathan, Rachel, and Teagan, came to Valley New School as a junior. And they've been here for 2 years. This is their second year. And one thing I notice about juniors who come is they're really quite appreciative of their opportunity at Valley New School. They know what they have in front of them, which is 2 years of a bit of a liberated education. And Teagan was especially thankful, really made the most of every single project and did her very best on every single project. And I think this is your best project, your senior project. And she's going to teach us a lesson, a very important lesson, so tune in. Okay, Teagan's senior presentation, and welcome to her family, whole group of family here. Your senior presentation on living sustainably, combating overconsumption. Take it away, Teagan.
Raise your hand if you ever bought something you never ended up using. I bet that is all of us. We live in a world of abundance, but that abundance comes with a cost. Overconsumption is easy to overlook because it's mapped into our everyday lives. Social media, the people around us, and advertisements influence us to think we need more because it will enhance our lives. When in reality, if you didn't know you needed it, you probably don't. Sustainability means meeting our needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. It's about the balance between what we take and what we give back to the earth. It means considering the life cycle of everything we consume, from clothing to food. It means making conscious choices every day that support long-term ecological health. Overconsumption is using more resources than the planet can regenerate. It's when we buy more than we need, waste what we have, and treat goods as disposable. It's not just a personal habit, it's a systemic issue built into our society. We have created a disposable culture. If you look at this graph, you can see that in only 6 years, we've consumed over 75% of what we consumed in 100 years. That acceleration is very alarming. If we keep on like this, our planet is going to be damaged beyond recovery. The effects are everywhere. To make goods, natural resources are depleted at a catastrophic rate. Resources are overused and habitats are destroyed. To transport goods, greenhouse gases are generated and pollution levels increase in air, water, and soil. When items are improperly disposed of, microplastic pollution happens. Overconsumption is directly tied to the climate crisis. If you look at this graph, you can see that Americans make up just 4% of the global population. But we create over 12% of global waste. To put that in perspective, we generate 292.4 million tons of waste annually. That's equivalent to the weight of the entire world's human population. That number is definitely higher now, being that this graph was created in 2019. It's not surprising that Americans also consume 25% of the planet's resources. We also create 13 times more damage to the environment than someone born and raised in Brazil. The American stereotype is real. Compare the US to other nations, where consumption is a fraction of ours. They often suffer more environmental consequences. In Chile, they are bombarded with fast fashion imports, making their deserts a dumping ground. And what do you know? Most of that textile waste comes from the US with the TJ Maxx tag still on them. If everyone lived like the average American, we need 5 Earths to sustain us. This is not sustainable. It's terrifying. Now you may be wondering, or have concluded, that you do inherently overconsume. There are common ways you could be without even knowing it. Purchasing fast fashion, food waste, having to purchase the newest tech or newest version of anything. Single-use plastic, over-purchasing home decor every year, energy consumption, like leaving the lights on, constant fast food and takeout, can never have enough skincare, body care, hair care, makeup, or over-consuming and justifying it because it's your hyperfixation or hobby. Buying items just because of that cheap price tag. Who's guilty? So, where do you buy your clothing from? How much food do you throw away each week? How many things have you bought this month just because they were on sale or cheap? These habits are so normalized that we don't even think twice about them. It shouldn't be normalized to waste our money and also damage the environment in the process. You may be thinking, small purchases can't be costing me that much. Have you ever tried tracking and adding up your spending? I'm sure if you saw it all added up and how much it actually costed you, you'd wish you didn't buy those items. These impulse purchases or non-intentional purchases may make you feel something known as buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse is the feeling of regret or dissatisfaction after purchasing an item that felt like a mistake or you think you could have found something better. Avoid that issue. These little actions add up. Awareness is the first step to change. Overconsumption is drilled into our society. We're trained from childhood to associate success with the number of items we have, or how valuable our items are. And it's not by accident. It's a billion-dollar industry pushing us to consume more and more. Social media, advertising, marketing, influencing, people that have been influenced, constantly tell us that we need products we haven't even thought of before, creating artificial needs and keeping us in this cycle of consuming. Companies design their products cheaply so they have a short lifespan, keeping us in this consumption pattern known as planned obsolescence. Economies have a dependence on consumerism. 70% of the GDP is determined by consumer spending. In simpler terms, the economy grows when people keep buying. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, pushes people to buy into the trends so they fit in. Brands will use slogans like, for a limited time only, to create the urgency that you need to purchase the item now. Convenience culture is a big influence on overconsumption because it promotes speed, instant access, and comfort. Companies like Amazon are a prime example of convenience culture because of how they operate. Buy now, pay later encourages people to spend beyond their needs. Like I said, it's a systemic issue. I'm obsessed. Don't walk, run to get this now. This product changed my life. Social media is the main contributor to overconsumption. Influencers post insane luxury hauls of self-care products, makeup, clothing, home decor, and food hauls, which causes the viewers to compare themselves and strive to have collections like that. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube use personalized algorithms so users see videos or products curated to their interests, behaviors, and conversations. Huge hauls of items promote excessive consumption like it's normal and fun. Microtrends are short-lived trends on social media that gain popularity quickly and fade just as quickly, sometimes in just a few days or weeks. I'm sure off the top of your head you could name a few microtrends you've experienced firsthand. I know we've all fell victim to the 2020 quarantine microtrends, or at least I did. This is detrimental to the environment. Spikes in sales leads to spikes in waste and pollution. Overconsumption takes a toll on our mental health too. Studies show that the constant feeling of instant gratification, especially through shopping or online spending, activates the brain's reward system, much like addictive substances, creating a short-lived high followed by a crash. According to the American Psychological Association, this cycle can lead to increased anxiety and stress. Social media amplifies the problem by promoting unattainable lifestyles. Over 60% of young adults report feeling pressure to spend just to keep up. In fact, a research from the University of Pennsylvania found that reducing social media use to just 30 minutes a day significantly decreases feelings of loneliness and depression. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are filled with content that link material goods to personal worth. Algorithms are designed to show us content that triggers emotional reactions of envy or desire. Targeted ads blend so seamlessly with content that many users don't even realize they're being marketed to, creating a constant feeling of temptation. Cluttered spaces, which often result from overbuying junk, have been linked to higher cortisol levels, the stress hormone. Overconsumption doesn't create happiness or fulfillment. It suppresses emotional needs and leaves us financially strained, caught in an exhausting loop that's hard to break. So what can you actually do to help fight overconsumption? It starts with being more intentional, asking yourself whether you really need something before buying it, and focusing on quality over quantity. Buying secondhand, choose reusable over disposable. Learn how to repair your items, recycle properly. Limit social media, share and borrow, build community, and leading by example. Those are just the basics. One step I took that I felt was controlling a lot of my impulse purchases was taking control of my digital environment. I unfollowed influencers who were constantly showing off their hauls and showing that their whole life was basically shopping. Content like that feeds into constant comparison and impulsive spending, which is a route you don't want to go. I took it even further and just deleted social media, but that's just me. I'm still on there from time to time. Another step I took was not spending any money most days, also known as no-buy days or no-buy challenges. This was actually very beneficial for me. It taught me to only spend my money on needs and not make impulse random purchases. Something else I did was I started tracking my weekly spending, and I noted what I spent the money on. This helped me see what I was spending the most money on and where I needed to cut back. It made me shift my mindset to be more financially responsible. All in all, thrifting, borrowing, and sharing with friends are awesome alternatives that 1, reduce waste, 2, save money, and 3, build community. Change doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be intentional. No one can be 100% sustainable in this day and age. Starting and doing something, anything, is better than ignoring the problem and doing nothing. A lot of my research focused on textile overconsumption and thrifting. By giving clothes and items a second life, it helps to reduce the massive waste created by fast fashion, which, if you didn't know, sends over 92 million tons of textiles to landfills each year. According to America's Research Group, about 16 to 18% of Americans will shop at a thrift store yearly. I find that surprising. I feel like it's so mainstream and popular now. Maybe that's just because I go several times a week. But if you think that you won't be able to find the style of clothing you're looking for because it's secondhand, you're wrong. I think I found every style with thrifting. To just give you a glimpse into what I found, here's a small video I made. It doesn't have audio, so I'm gonna talk a little bit. In the beginning, I'm kind of just like showing like the different kinds of thrifting, I guess. And I took that video during like when they put the new bins out. It's like the Hunger Games. I was like scared. And then like that's kind of what it looks like when everyone's crowded around it. And this is like me at a garage sale. I just like took the video for this project just to show. And like, I don't know, things I found. And then this is just me showing like stuff I found, just to like show you guys what there is. Just like things. Just I don't know. I have fun. I accidentally put this clip twice, like this whole video, so you'll see it again. Yeah, there's a video twice. Adrian's wearing that shirt. Yeah, so that's the video. I made it like very last minute just to show a glimpse. Fun fact, thrifting fulfills our ancestral foraging instincts because it like, I have something written in here and it went away. It just fulfills our ancestral foraging instincts because we find like valuable resources and like we're like finding things. I just like blanked on that, but okay. If you don't know where to shop, you're in luck because Wisconsin has 526 thrift stores as of January 2025. And if you struggle with finding what you're looking for in person, you can venture into the world of online thrift stores. These platforms like Depop, Poshmark, ThredUp, Vinted, etc. essentially only contain secondhand vintage items, which lower the demand for new production, which leads to less water use, fewer carbon emissions, and reduced pollution from manufacturing. Personally, I found some great gifts on Depop for others and items for myself. So if you're looking for something specific, you can always find items under the retail asking price on those secondhand apps. You can find super unique pieces while shopping secondhand, and also way better quality. If someone tells you thrifting is gross and dirty, don't listen to them. Just have common sense and don't buy used underwear. Thrifting is a win-win for your wallet, for the planet, and for your fashion. I skipped ahead a slide, so here it is. Fun fact, thrifting fulfills our ancestral foraging instincts because it mirrors the thrill of discovery and satisfaction with finding valuable resources. Also, with all the tariffs being imposed and prices rising for imported goods, it's important to remember that there are no tariffs on secondhand items. This is something I wrote from one of my written products. I wrote like a thrifting guide. So here are just some like tips I wrote. While going through the racks of clothing, go through every piece. If you just skim over the clothing, you'll miss a lot of good pieces. It's time consuming, but it's worthwhile. Pay attention to the fabric. Usually I don't buy polyester because it's just plastic and it's bad for you and it's bad quality. But you can tell the difference between like cheap fast fashion and like good high quality clothing. Just check the condition of the item you're interested in thoroughly. I've like gotten so many pairs of like jeans and the zipper doesn't work or there's like holes in the crotch. So like make sure you look. Brainstorm the DIY potential in case the condition of the item can be saved. Don't impulse buy items just because they're cheap. Overconsumption still exists at thrift stores. I still need to work on that. Know what time to go. If you go as soon as the store opens, they usually like restock in the mornings or like the night before. So if you go around like those times, you'll find good things, but it depends on the thrift store. Research how to take care of the items you buy. Some items may need to be cleaned differently or can't be dried in the dryer. Like if you ever find something with a fur hood, don't put it in the dryer because it will like mat it and it's really ugly. Shop out a season. If you shop for like winter clothing in the summer, you'll find some really good pieces for the winter and vice versa. If you don't have the time to look through every piece of clothing on the racks, like if say you're looking for like a crochet item, just like scan it for like the crochet material, and then like you can do that too. Those are my tips and tricks. You may think you are free from the shackles of fast fashion because you don't buy clothing from Shein or Temu. But did you know Hollister, PacSun, American Eagle, Addicted, H&M, Target, Old Navy, and Urban Outfitters are all fast fashion too, and the ones noted? That's because these companies heavily invest in marketing and brand image. They have physical storefronts, which make them seem and look more legit. Their prices are way higher than the prices you see on Shein, and they may have some eco-friendly clothing collections. Most brands lack transparency, making you think they're better than they actually are. Those brands being fast fashion may not steer you away, but maybe this will. According to the Center for Environmental Health, over 25% of fast fashion clothing and accessories contain lead. Wearing clothes that contain lead can cause neurological effects, respiratory problems, skin issues, hormone issues, and cancer risk. Think twice before you buy from certain brands. Okay, now we're gonna play a little game I made. So you're gonna guess, is it fast fashion or not? And I'm gonna give you time to like think, like a minute or two, and then I'm gonna call on people. So just take your time. Just talk among yourselves.
What do we think? Yay or nay?
Yeah, what do you think, Brady?
Yay or nay? I'm thinking, what do you think?
I think
No? I think it is. I think it is fast fashion.
it looks like
It looks so it could be a microtrend though.
I don't know, there's something off about it.
Okay, I'm gonna call on people now. So I'm gonna call on like 5 people. My sister. Okay. My brother. Kira. Ashley. Cooper. Meredith. You think it is? It is not fast fashion. I'm trying to trick you guys, so make sure you're thinking the criteria. The tag, it's made in the USA. And I wish I like put a photo of the tags, but I looked at it. Okay, here's the second one. Okay, talk among yourselves.
But I feel like it's a microtrend.
I don't think it is, but let me just say, it is ugly. I know.
Can't do rough.
The world can hear my opinion. It's fine.
I don't think it's that flowered. Maybe not.
I still think it's What do you think, Isaac?
I don't think it is fast fashion.
I don't either.
I think it's just really bad.
I think it's just ugly and also
Okay. I'm gonna call on people now. Aurora. Not fast fashion. Okay. Ava. It is okay. Veronica. Asia.
I don't think it is.
Abby. Let's pick one more person. Hazel. It is fast fashion. I'm really good at this.
I'm 0 for 2.
It kind of looks like it'd be not fast fashion because it's like yellow. But it is fast fashion. Okay, talk among yourselves. What do you think?
Okay, come on. That has to be fast fashion,
It looks
right?
so cheap.
It kind of looks like a camper's diaper. It has to be fast fashion, right? Right?
I think so. That's what I'm saying. It's so hard to follow with something. Still very flat.
Okay.
I like
Okay, I'm gonna call on people now. Jack.
I think it is not fast fashion.
Rachel. You said no? Okay. Malia.
No.
Vincent.
It is, yeah.
Sage. It is. Mom.
It's totally fast fashion. It's probably one of those brand names that you posted before. It looks like Hollister or a.
You're wrong. It's vintage.
I'm 0 for 3.
I think, like, yeah, because I saw the tag. I don't remember what the tag was. Yeah, vintage is 20 years old. So if something's 20 years or older, yeah,
Sorry,
you're
Miss Porter.
vintage. Okay, here, I try to include like a male item, so. Talk among yourselves.
Guys, give me that. 3 types of jar. Shush. Surely it's fast fashion this time. It has to be fast fashion.
I'm trying to trick you guys, so. Can you-
It has to be fast fashion. It's got the stupid crinkled like logo on the front. Or back. Back.
Cause you lost. Okay, I'll call on people now. Max.
No.
No? My grandma.
It's a replica of an old one, so I'll say it's fast action.
Okay. Roger. Fast fashion. Nathan. Yeah. Savon. Beckett.
I think it is fast fashion.
Phoebe. Yes or no?
I think it is.
Okay. It's not. It's not fast fashion. Apparently my mom wore it in the 80s. Okay. It was a skateboarding company. Talk among yourselves.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out, guys. I think it's fast fashion. I think it's fast fashion. Guys, hear me out. Hear me out. I think it's fast fashion.
I think it's fast fashion.
Hear me out.
That tag, the tag is fast fashion.
It's not fast fashion.
It's not.
I'm going fast fashion.
I think it's
One time, at least one time.
I'm going to have to keep some
Okay,
serious
I'm gonna
guidance
call on
on
people.
Okay.
Theo. You think it is? Marin. Miss Fornes. Miles.
No.
Sawyer. Miss Lubke.
I have no idea.
Adrian. Yes. One more person. B. It is fast fashion. I feel like this one was really like easy.
Suck it.
Okay,
You are behind the
I
camera.
think this is the last one. Oh wait, no, there's one more. Just talk among yourselves.
Friends, what do we think?
That looks majorly fast fashion to me.
Yeah. Just 'cause it kind of looks poorly dyed. It's got weird stitching. Okay, guys, hear me out. I think it's fast fashion.
It has like fake square lines in it.
Yeah.
And it looks
It just looks weirdly dyed.
really bad.
Like new.
Huh?
Huh?
I would like to.
Oh, I was talking about you.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, I'll call on people now. Abby. No. TJ.
No.
Okay. Danny. Miss K. Emily. Robin.
Yes.
Yes. Ash. Jack. Marin. It is fast fashion. That one is.
2 for 6. Yay.
Okay, here is the last item. I'm really trying to trick you guys. Who knows? Talk among yourselves.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think it's fast fashion. It's not. This one, guys, hear me out. It's not fast fashion.
Wait, what?
I don't think it's fast fashion. It looks way too homemade.
It's not homemade.
What do you mean?
Just because it has a glass stitch doesn't mean it's homemade.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Okay, do you guys have your answers?
It doesn't look like fast fashion.
My grandma.
I'll say yes.
Yes. Brady. No. Hazel. Ava. That Ava. It is. Okay. Ashley. Miss Fornes.
Keep going back and forth. I think it is.
Nep.
I'm so in between, but I feel like it might be.
Okay. One last one. Beckett.
It's not.
It's not fast fashion.
It's not fast fashion, but that's not homemade.
I know, but it doesn't look like fast fashion. There's actually care into the stitching and stuff.
Well, I know, but like some of them
Yeah,
are
that's
so
Okay, moving on.
80s looking.
Greenwashing is when companies pretend to be environmentally friendly just to boost their image, without making any real changes to better the planet behind the scenes. It's a marketing trick that's become more common as consumers look for more sustainable options. A study by the European Commission found that over 53% of green claims made online give vague, misleading, or actually have no supporting evidence. Some companies even go as far as to claim they're certified B Corp, which is a certification that measures how environmentally friendly the brand really is. But they aren't fully living up to its standards. A real-life example is Nespresso, a company that makes single-use plastic coffee K-cups. They market the brand as eco-conscious. They even have a B Corp certification. How is that possible? This not only confuses consumers, but it also slows down real progress by giving people a false sense of sustainability. We have to stay informed on what environmentally friendly really means and support businesses that back their words with intentional actions. Save your money and buy reusable K-cups, because they work the same and they're cheaper. There are many brands leading the way in sustainability. Companies like Patagonia, Bombas, Lush, Ilia, and Say have built their businesses around eco-friendly practices, from sourcing sustainable materials to fair labor conditions and ethical profits. To find sustainable brands, look for certifications like Fair Trade, B Corp, or the Global Organic Textile Standard, which hold companies accountable for their environmental impact. Research beyond the label. Check a company's website, read their sustainability reports, and see if their actions align with their claims. I understand that seems like a lot of work, which is why I encourage others to shop secondhand. Shopping secondhand is already sustainable. No research needs to be done. By supporting these companies and habits, we know that our purchases are contributing to a healthier planet. The choices we make when it comes to our relationship with how we shop and what we purchase have a significant impact on both the environment and our mental well-being. Thrifting offers a sustainable, low-cost, high-fashion alternative, giving new life to items that would otherwise end up in landfills, or even deserts. Social media is extremely powerful in shaping our shopping habits and how we view ourselves. But it's important to have that control and to recognize when it's driving us toward unrealistic expectations, comparison, and that we need more. By being more conscious of what we buy, whether it's secondhand or new, we can reduce our environmental footprint and save money in the process. This is your reminder to be more intentional in every area of your life and bring a sustainability mindset to everything that you do. Now for my live sources, we're getting down to my process. I had 4 live sources for this project. My first one was Shelly. I don't know her last name. She's a professional herbalist, and we just talked about natural herbal remedies, what's better for you skincare, body care wise, and how making your own products are way better for you and your pockets. This live source was more focused to my lip balm workshop. My second live source was Miss Ludke's sister, Kristen Van Herweg. I don't know how to say her last name. She's the Senior Director of Programs for Climate Solutions Accelerator. She helps organizations lower their carbon footprint. We talked about ways people could make their homes more environmentally friendly, such as switching appliances from gas to electric. This interview was very insightful in the way of planning my project. She provided me with some great ideas, I got inspired for the game we played by her. My third live source was the owner of Green Meadow Recycling in Appleton. She talked me through the process of how her company recycles and how they try to meet sustainability measures. I was with Rachel and we went to this one, and her son pulled down his pants and started peeing on the ground. And then I shouldn't have looked at Rachel, and I did, and we started laughing. But that was a very interesting live source meet. My last live source was the owner of the Wild Goose Exchange. They're our neighbor. Her name is Kim. We just talked about how her business is truly sustainable in the way they source their items, sell their items, market, and the community their company builds. That was my favorite interview. She's very fun to talk to, very business oriented. For my project process, I chose this project right before summer ended, before the school year began. I just started to see a lot of media coverage on it, and I already deemed myself pretty eco-conscious. I thrifted a lot and just didn't use a whole lot of plastic, which I learned more. And I thought it would be a good lengthy project with a lot of bases to cover, and it was. I began research at the same time as I started my rationale. I took my notes in 3 different ways. I remember many seniors recommended Microsoft OneNote last year, so I started with that. It was quite organized, but I thought it was kind of difficult to plan a written product from it because it wasn't very accessible to see it all at once. On my iPad, I used an app called GoodNotes. I recommend it. I thought it was very organized. I liked how I could do a split screen and write at the same time as I was reading an article or watching a video. Those are what those notes are. I also took notes in a notebook. Physically writing down notes, I believe, is the best way to retain the information. In the end, I did take action to organize my notes so they were all generally in the same place. I transferred the notes on my iPad into PDF form and put them into my drive. And then the notes in my notebook were the ones that I took YouTube video notes on, so that's how I mapped it out. My notes were kind of all over the place, but it worked for me. I created 4 written products for this project. Miss Ludke and I were talking, and we came to the agreement that it would be more meaningful if I took action with this project. I wrote a letter to the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, a letter to the city planners of Madison and Milwaukee, Megan Tuttle and Sam Leachling, a letter to the mayor of Appleton, Jake Woodford. I also created a thrifting guide so others can discover tips and tricks. I made sure the letters didn't contain the same information. I made them relative to the area, and I researched what initiatives the city has taken to make their city more environmentally friendly. That's so I didn't drone on with anything they already took accountability for. I totally thought I would hate the process of writing those written products, because I usually do, but it was one of my favorite parts. I loved seeing it all come together and that it was going towards something important. I got responses from both the city planners. They didn't say they would take action per se, but they did give me resources to reach out to. The point of the letters was so that they would get the word out there, but I didn't have my expectations high. I'm still hoping for a letter from at least the mayor, because I don't think he's that busy. I don't think so. Here's something that I wrote in one of my letters, and I'm gonna read. There are several actions this was the letter to the governor. There are several actions that could make a significant difference. First, the governor could fund educational campaigns in schools, local communities, and through media outlets to educate young consumers about the impact of overconsumption. In Madison, where there are already many secondhand and curated thrift stores, the governor could incentivize businesses that meet eco-friendly standards, helping to create a competitive market for sustainability. These businesses could be spotlighted through sponsorships, encouraging others to follow. From that, partnerships with nonprofits, schools, and local businesses could be formed to establish clothing donation collection spaces, where items would be distributed to homeless shelters, secondhand stores, and families in need, reducing waste and landfill overflow. It could also be encouraged to shop at local sustainable businesses to boost the economy and promote environmentally friendly products. The governor could fund research at UW-Madison for textile recycling, sustainable fabrics, and other endeavors for students in that area. Finally, organizing free clothing swaps could benefit communities and in turn reduce textile waste largely by offering an alternative to purchasing new clothes. My non-written products were 2 activities. The first one was my lip balm workshop, which I had a lot of fun leading. The point of that workshop was to promote zero waste cosmetics and just to show others what you can make yourself and how it's better for you. I wish I did more workshops at my time here because it was really fun. And I hope everyone who participated also had fun. I think workshops pertaining to your project are a great way to have fun with your projects and engage others in them. I definitely recommend. My other non-written product was to try my hand at styling other students. I styled Adrian, Satya, Milo, and Jack. I sourced items from the Goodwill bins. They just shared a Pinterest board with me and gave me their sizes, and I went from there. Okay, this is time for my fashion show. Okay, Adrian is first. She's gonna walk the runway. Adrian is McBling 2000 style, as you can see. Okay, walk slow. With the bedazzled affliction top. And the purse I found too. So cute. Very cute. Okay, Satya. This is actually a real style, so don't get offended. Satya is like a frazzled English woman. Indie, grunge, like very grunge. I love it, like the colors, they all go together. Okay, Milo, I even gave him an outfit, but he's not here. He was supposed to be like workwear, indie street-esque, but you know, he's not. Okay, Jack, come on. Jack is working it with his upcycled denim shorts. Very like skater style, summer Jack. So that's what I styled. So cute. Okay, you guys, you did great. So that's what I did. I had a lot of fun with this, but it was also surprisingly challenging. I'd call myself an avid seasoned thrifter, but I've never had to thrift for someone else with their personal style in mind. However, I would definitely do it again. To address my future plans, I'll be continuing my education at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee for a bachelor's degree in journalism, advertising, and media studies. Thank you. Okay, I will be taking questions now. Ava? Oh, sorry. Okay.
What's your favorite place to go thrift shopping?
Ava asked, "What's my favorite place to go thrift shopping?" I live like super close to the bins, so I love to go there, and that's just where I like find the best things, and it's like way cheaper. The bins are on Spencer Street, so like Goodwill Outlet. That's what it's called. It's like on Spencer Street. Isaac.
Would it be also like, could you? I'm trying to figure out a word this. Would it be a good idea to like take a bunch of different fabric or like different clothings and then like take parts from them and then put them together to make a different thing?
Isaac asked if it's like good if you take parts from other clothing pieces and like upcycle them into something new, and I think that is very good. I think that's upcycling's a very good way to make use of things you don't wear anymore, so that's very good. TJ.
Did you find me a style?
TJ asked if I could find him a style. I could probably find you a style, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like really good now. Nep.
What are your thoughts on America's current recycling stuff?
Nep asked what's my opinion on the current America recycling stuff.
Sorry.
No, I couldn't even think of a word for that either. My opinion is that I heard like only 5% of like stuff you actually recycle gets recycled, and like, so I think that's very like corrupt. I don't know, something should be I wrote about that in one of those letters, like stuff should just be changed and like sorted through more like thoroughly. I think it could be a lot better. Savon?
Where did you buy all of the pieces for the game?
Savon asked, where did I buy all the pieces for the game? Mostly the bins. That's where I bought it. I go there too much. Miss Fornes?
How did you define fast fashion?
Miss Fornes? Oh, sorry.
And like, so in the game, how was it discerned if it was fast fashion or not?
Miss Fornes asked in the game how it was discerned if like the pieces were fast fashion or not. I took it with like, obviously some of those pieces were probably fast fashion when they were made like 20 years ago. But I took it with like, when pieces are 20 years or older, they are considered vintage or like older pieces. So I took it in like this day and age, like right now, like pieces that are currently fast fashion and pieces that were. So I kind of just went on it in this like second-hand mindset.
Okay.
So like kind of like that.
So like vintage or current?
Yeah.
Okay.
Max.
So if you were to find like a shirt from like Shein at the thrift store, that would still be considered fast fashion even if you bought it second hand, right?
Max asked if they were to find a shirt from like Shein at the thrift store, would that still be considered fast fashion if they found it there? It would, like the quality, like yeah, it would still be considered fast fashion, but like you did get it ethically since it was like secondhand sourced, so it's just, I think it's just in the way of like you're wearing fast fashion, I guess it's not that great for you.
Yeah.
Like, but it's still considered ethical. Danny?
What's the most expensive thing you buy?
My most expensive thing I sold or bought? That's what he asked. I bought. One time I was in a different city and I bought this hoodie from a secondhand store, and it was like this. I bought it for like $50 and then I never wore it and it had a big rip in it. So I was scammed. Mom?
What was the most expensive thing you sold? So you sell all this stuff? You just-
Okay, I sell sometimes. Like, just a little thing I do. My most expensive thing I ever sold. Oh, one time I was at a garage sale with my sister and I found this really old Cartoon Network Finn and Jake hoodie that it was just like graphics of them, and it was really cool and I wish I kept it. But I sold it for, my sister bought it for me too, so I got it for free. And I sold it for $100. I was like, it's an Adventure Time grail. Yeah. Miss Lukey?
I was really sort of repulsed by the image you have in your presentation about the deserts of Chile. How does that occur? Like, how does it get from there to there?
Thrift stores that like stuff that doesn't sell. In the first clip in my video I made, that I was at St. Vincent de Paul volunteering, and like they have clothes they didn't sell, and they throw it into these bales and they crush it up, so it's like all compact, and they import it to other like third world countries to get rid of it. Like, that's just how it works. Like, there's also many other. I think there's another beach in like Ghana that happened. There's a like it's at a beach, and there's just like clothes everywhere. So it's been an ongoing problem because like they don't know what to do with all the clothes. But I don't think it should be like, they should be disposed of like that. It's pretty weird. TJ?
What's the best fabric that you should wear?
TJ asked what's the best fabric you could wear. Probably like 100% cotton or 100% like linen, like stuff like in that category. Definitely not like 100% nylon or polyester because it's just like plastic. It's bad for you. Isaac?
Why have like cities and governments and companies not like, why have they not fully gotten into that process of like recycling such or everything and making their processes green? Like, why do they, I guess, struggle to do that?
Isaac asked why companies struggle to like recycle their textiles properly or like just be sustainable in the process how they create them. It's because it is expensive. That's why they don't do it, because they want to make profit. Like, they could afford to do it, but it would they would take a cut in their profits, because like they'll make things for like 50 cents in a third world country and they get paid like so little in awful working conditions, and then they resell it here for like $50. It's just like, it's pretty awful. Oh, Miss K.
Can we assume, you mentioned the made in the USA tag.
Mm-hmm.
If it's made in the USA, does that mean it's not fast fashion, or can we assume that?
Miss K asked if you see like a clothing piece with and the tag says made in the USA, can you deem it as like sustainable or not fast fashion? I think you can like deem it as sustainable because it's like made where like, but there's also like ways where it couldn't have been made sustainably, like how the materials were sourced. But it is better in the way that it wasn't like made in a third world country with like awful working conditions and like dehumanizing other people. So I think it's a way better option. Beckett?
So if something from Shein is like, let's say it's just 25 years old, and you bought it from a thrift store, is it still considered fast fashion, or is it like not fast fashion?
Beckett asked if you bought something that was 25 years old from Shein at a thrift store, if it was considered fast fashion. I don't think Shein would last that long, so I don't think you'll find that. I don't think you'll find that. Jack?
Do you know if it's hard for those businesses to get the certification, or like, how strict is it?
Jack asked if I know if it's strict for businesses to get that certification to produce sustainable materials. I didn't research into like the certification and stuff. I just know that businesses don't do it because it's expensive and like the profits and like how they make money. That's why they don't do it. Ms. Fornes?
I have a question about tariffs. Do you think they could decrease fast fashion?
That's a good question. Ms. Fornes asked if tariffs could decrease fast fashion. I personally think that it could, because people will probably stop buying it as much because it's going to be more expensive. I've already seen things about it, like people don't buy, like the prices on Shein are higher or something maybe, so that could cut back. Isaac?
I guess adding on to that, if given enough time, would that fast fashion just like disappear altogether, or would it like then relocate here, like into the States instead? Like if they had enough time to get the infrastructure.
Isaac asked if, because of the tariffs, would fast fashion companies relocate to the U.S. so they would be able to sell more things? I think that's a good question, and that's probably something that could happen because everyone is money hungry, so that could definitely happen. Mom?
Do you think that consumers are looking for type B corporations to shop at?
My mom asked, do you think consumers are looking for type B companies to shop at? I think so, because there's been like an increase in people looking for sustainable companies and like sustainable options. So I think there is an increase.
I work for a type B corporation.
My mom works at REI. Go shop.
Type B.
They have really good stuff.
You see me?
Nobody asked me advice for future seniors.
Oh yeah, right.
Cooper.
What is advice for future seniors?
My advice for future seniors is to pick a fun project or something that you can also like relate to your life, so it's something fun. And also like have fun activities within it, so you make it fun for yourself. And I remember Milo said this in his advice, is like don't compare yourself like to other, like how other people are structuring their senior projects or like what pace they're moving at, because it is your project. And I also struggled with that because like some people were moving so fast, and I was like, I'm like not there yet. But like you guys have all different timelines and different projects and different like what you're researching. So just take your time and make sure it's something you like and not what someone else likes. That's my advice.
Other ways to get around type B corporation stuff, like, so to say made in USA, only 65% of things have to be assembled in the USA. So you could outsource the t-shirt, the biggest part, put a tag and screen print. Like, is Patagonia doing that? That'd be 66%.
I don't know how to restate what you just said, but yeah, they probably will. They probably do. People are shady. Companies are shady. Yeah, I think so. Thank you.